All right, so everyone joining, thank you so much for really becoming part of this amazing section. Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate. I'm just really waiting for some people to join us so that we can actually have an amazing section today. I know it's exactly 11 o'clock after 10, and hopefully very soon we are really going to be starting. So it's actually a new week, and I know that you are really well fired up for the day. I know that you are really well, fired up, prepared for the day, knowing exactly what you really want to do for the week, knowing exactly what you actually want to achieve for the week. So let me just wait for like 2 minutes so that I can actually have some amazing people to actually follow me and join me in this very live session. It's just really going to take not more than 40 minutes. So I really want you to feel relaxed so that we can actually have an amazing time in the room today, because what I'm really going to be sharing today we really go a long way to change the way you think. All right, not only change the way you think, but we also really push you to really act on them so that on the long run you can actually achieve results down the road. So I'm really hoping that very soon we're really going to be starting at exactly 10:15. We're starting. I'm trying to be time conscious while I'm trying to wait for other people to really join us in the course of the process. So thank you so much for joining. Stick to in the room so that you don't miss out on any information I'm coming to share today. Thank you all. All right, we just have less than 3 minutes to go. Then we actually begin. So I really want us to be time conscious. Sign reg is all about timing. So I'm sure when we start at exactly 10:15, then in 40 minutes time, we are really ending the section because this is actually a 40 minutes breakfast for the day, just to really empower you, just for you to really have something in mind to really think about as a way of actually, developing yourself personally, growing yourself personally. I think it's very important. And I know that you are really well prepared for this section. So we'll be starting very soon at exactly 10:15 a.m. And we can't wait for the message we actually have for today. All right, so it's exactly 10:15 a.m. And like I said, we are really starting at exactly 10:15 a.m. And to those who are really in the room, thank you so much for joining me in this live section. And to those who are really going to be watching, I just want to say thank you so much for really taking out your time to watch today's morning focus. Before I really jump into the main topic or the main agenda for today, let me just really begin by saying that this is actually morning focus coming your way every Monday, 10 a.m. GMT. And this morning focus has been designed as a way of actually empowering you, because I believe that if you were to start the week, which happens to be on Monday, which happens to be the working day, the first day of the working day, you need to really be fired up. You need to know exactly what you're really doing. You need to actually work on your weakness. You don't want to start what you actually did previous last week, but you need to actually do something new. So there's always a message waiting for you every Monday via live on all of our social media pages, SINETWORK. If you want to find out more about SINETWORK, all you have got to do is just go to www.samadi.com or follow us on this very page. So if you are really watching this live section for the first time, I just want to encourage you, do well to follow this very page, because as time goes on, more empowering messages will be coming, not only in the area of leadership, but in the area of self-growth, personal development, branding, network marketing, digital marketing, all right, relationship, marriages, issues, all right. Various topics are really going to be coming as a way of actually empowering you. So I just want to encourage you, if you are watching this very video for the first time, I want to encourage you, do well to hit the follow button so that you don't miss out on any information. So Money Packers every Monday is a 40 minutes breakfast that has been designed to really empower you, so that you can actually start up the week with inspiration, so that you can actually start the week with formation, so that you can actually start up the week being fired up and ready for the week. So before I really go into today's section, I just want to say that this morning focus doesn't only come by empowering you with messages, but it's also really coming with coaching. It comes with mentorship. So looking at today's topic, it's just focusing on killing procrastination. So if you know that you find it very hard to kill procrastination, if you're really finding it very hard to achieve something, then due to the fact that you are always postponing it every now and then this is actually an opportunity for you to sign up for my coaching section, which is always going on every week, just once every week, so that we'll be having conversations together. You'll be keeping track of your progress once we actually identify the challenges. So if you want to sign up for coaching, if you want to sign up for mentorship, this is actually an opportunity for you to really do that. All you have got to do is just try to DM the SINETWORK, and we'll do what to actually follow up on you and see the time that we can actually be having with you, so that in the long run, that challenge you're really having will become really resolved. So once again, thank you so much for actually watching. So today, we are really going to be focusing on an interesting topic. And this very topic is very important. It's very important because if you want to live life fully, if you want to become the best version of yourself, if you want to overcome challenges, if you want to, have something of a legacy to leave behind for your generation, it is very important you have to deal with this very thing. So if that is what you are really ready for, then I can say that this topic or this theme or this very agenda, why I'm actually here, is very important. But before I really begin, this actually could sound. Most of the time, I believe in relationships. So if you want to get to know more about me, I wouldn't want to waste more time saying from A to Z who exactly I really am. But all I'm just really going to say is that go to www.samadi.com and go to the page where we have Know the Pathfinder. So if you want to know more about me, just really go there so you can actually have more information about me. But notwithstanding, if you also want to connect with me, you're free to really connect with me. I'm always available. So far that I know that the relationship is really going to go a long way to make an impact, to collaborate together, to see how we can come together to make our world a better place. What problems are we really solving? This is what I'm always here for. All right. So that's just that about that. So now let's actually jump into the main section today. Killing procrastination. All right. A lot of people are really there. They are not able to actually live their life fully, simply because they are really procrastinating. And if care is not really taken, when you keep on procrastinating, there are some successes that are supposed to come your way. And because of the fact that you're really procrastinating, you can't really achieve those things on time, because you're not living your life fully the way you actually expect them to really live it. All right. Now, before I really venture into what I really want to say, why do you really need to kill procrastination? You need to kill procrastination because you need to live your life fully before you die empty. It is very important and it is very unique to really note that in mind. And other thing is that it's very important for you to actually keep procrastination because you want to leave a legacy behind for your generation. You just don't want to leave this. You just don't want to leave this out and die empty without leaving something behind for your children. And number three, one of the reasons why you have to keep procrastination is that you need to live a successful life. All right. If you want to achieve your goals, whether it's actually monthly goals, whether it's actually daily goals, whether it's yearly goals, you need to understand that you need to keep procrastination. Because if you don't keep the procrastination, there are some goals that you should have actually achieved in a certain period of time. But because of the fact that you're really procrastinating on them, you realize that you're not really achieving it. So it is very important you have to really bear this in mind. And why do you also have to really keep procrastination? Procrastination makes you significant. Like avoiding or killing procrastination, it makes you really significant. Why? Because if you're able to actually achieve some goals, all right, it makes you really visible to other people. Why? Because, like I said, every goals you actually achieve got levels. All right, if you achieve one goal, realize that you are actually moving on to the higher goals. And as you are moving, as you are climbing the ladder, all right, as you are really achieving your goals, you become significant by people. All right, you begin to actually work on the table of kings. Or in other words, you find yourself being surrounded by big minds because big minds are, there's one thing I love about big minds, all right? They hate procrastination. If they really arrange their mindset that they want to do this, they will definitely go ahead and do it. All right, so they hate procrastination. Like me, for example, I don't like procrastination. All right, once I really think about something and I plan it, the next thing I want to do is to really act on it. All right, the next thing I just want to make sure that my action really brings along is to achieve the results. Then when I achieve the results, then I really move on to the next. So as I'm moving on to the next, I realize that there are some certain people I've been able to really impact. And because of that impact, I've actually shared with them I become really significant. So what am I trying to say? Killing procrastination helps you live a life of, significance. It makes you really confident. All right. It makes you bring out the best version of yourself before you really die empty. All right. So killing procrastination makes you kill those fears of the things that you're really afraid of really doing. All right. It makes you really start that business you really have in mind. And let me also really say this: killing procrastination also makes you to be driven when it comes to leadership. I don't even want to go into entrepreneurship here because I just actually mistakenly mention of it. So you realize that when you keep procrastination, you'll be driven for leadership. Because leaders understand that when they have a goal, when they have a task they actually want to achieve, the next thing they want to do is to really act on it. The next thing they want to do is to achieve the results. The next thing they want to do is to execute how they're really going to achieve the task. So procrastination is actually not in the dictionary of a great leader. So in other words, for you to really, one of the reasons why you have to keep procrastination is simply because you want to become a great leader. Because leaders actually think, they act, and they get the results. So these are some of the reasons why you need to keep procrastination. All right. And it's very important you have to kill. When I'm talking about killing procrastination, I'm talking about don't let it get in your way. If you're going to do whatever you want to do to make sure that you actually get some certain things really done, kill it and get it done. It is very important. Now, before I really share with you the practical tips or the strategies of how you can actually keep procrastination, and I really want to focus on the practical aspect, not the theoretical aspect, because it is one thing for you to listen to theories only to realize that you don't really know how to execute them. Then it's another thing for you to actually pay attention to the practical things that will help you actually achieve those results. So I'm really going to be focusing on the practical tips of what you really need to do in order to keep procrastination. But before I really venture into that, let me dive more deeper into some of the challenges that a lot of people are really facing that is really preventing them from from getting some things really done. In other words, it makes you really procrastinate. Now, one of the things that a lot of people, one of the things that make people really procrastinate is simply because of fear of doing, let me just really put it this way, fear of actually getting things done. All right, yeah, really afraid of what other people might really think about the goals they actually have nailed on the list. All right, and when you have this really fear, you realize that it really sets you back. All right, it's really making you go backward instead of actually forward. Why? Because you are really afraid of what other people might really think because of the fact that you are in the process of actually achieving that result that you really want to get done for yourself. Then another thing I also want to share with you is that one of the other factors is that it has to do with our environment. All right, because if you're in a kind of environment that doesn't really favors you, all right, and I really want to make this general. I don't really want to be specific in some areas, just for the fact that I'm trying to really explain this. But one of the other areas is that sometimes the environment you actually find yourself makes you not really hungry for the things that you actually want to get done. All right, it makes you not really focus on the things that you actually want to get done. Why? Because of the environment, the condition of where you actually find yourself. Maybe you don't really have the resources or the tools that you need to actually get those things really done. So because of that, you realize that you are just really procrastinating, so you are not able to actually get it done. Then another thing that really deprives people from actually, that really distracts people from actually getting things done. In other words, that makes you really procrastinate is simply because of the kind of people you really keep or the kind of people you actually work with. Are you working with big minds? Or are you working with small minds? So you need to understand the fact that the kind of people you actually work with are some of the reasons why you are really procrastinating today, or you have really been procrastinating for so long. So one of the major factors of why people are really procrastinating is simply because they are really surrounded by small minds. And when I'm talking about small minds, I'm talking about the people who are always finding excuses every now and then. They don't want to get things really done. They're always finding fault. They're always finding somebody to really blame for their circumstances. And the more you actually associate yourself with this kind of people, and when I'm talking about associating yourself with those people, and I'm talking about allowing their mindset to rob your mindset, and the care is not really taken, it deprives you from actually getting some certain things that you actually want to get done in your life done. So if you want to know the other factors of why you're already procrastinating, it's because of the kind of people you actually surround yourself with. It's because of the small minds you're really working with. So you need to understand these are some of the factors. Then another factor is that, and this part is very interesting. It's simply because of what you're really feeding your mind on. What are you really feeding your mind on? When you feed your mind on the negative things, all right, at the end of the day, you end up actually procrastinating. Why? Because maybe, for example, you realize that people are really discouraging you. They are really telling you that thing is very hard for you to really do. You can't really get it done. So, all this kind of negative affirmation. It's one of the reasons why a lot of people, are really procrastinating, and there's a need for you to actually procrastinate those things. It is very important. And the last part I really want to emphasize, like I said, I just want to be within 40 minutes. It's simply because people are not really hungry to get things really done. When I'm talking about hungry, nothing really gets in your way. All right. So one of the reasons why a lot of people really procrastinate is simply because they're not really hungry for that thing. All right. I really love what Les Brown really said. It said, in order to get things really done, you have got to be hungry. All right. Are you really hungry? Or are you just, and most of the reason why a lot of people really procrastinate is simply because they just kind of want it, but they don't really need it badly. But when you actually need something really badly, you realize that you're really hungry for it. So these are some of the reasons, or these are some of the factors that actually prevents people, or that actually makes people to procrastinate. Now, let me actually venture into the practical tips that you have to really consider in order to keep procrastination, in order to avoid procrastination. What I'm about to share with you is a long-term goals, or is a long-term tips or strategies that will help you with the procrastination. And I always say one thing: it's one thing to really hear something; it's another thing for you to really apply it. So as I'm about to actually share the practical tips with you, please listen to it and envision yourself really doing it. Listen to it and envision yourself really putting them into practice. Because it is the thing that you actually put in the process that actually brings result into your life. It is not a thing that you think. All right. If you actually think about something and you don't really get it done, you will always remain where you are. So Hear it, think it, and put it into action so that every day we can actually achieve excellent results based on the message we actually share today. Now, one of the practical tips I really want to share with you is the background that I really call the mindset. In order for me to really start with this, let me actually begin with one of my favorite quotes I really love so much. And it says that you can change your hair, you can change your clothes, you can change your house, you can change your residence, you can change your spouse. But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over and over and over again. Why? Because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly changed. There is nothing as powerful as a changed mind. You want to keep procrastination, you need to work on your mindset. And one of the reasons why I'm just really starting with it, because I believe that the real background is actually the mind, it's really the mind. All right, it doesn't have to do with the kind of people that is actually around you, because your mind is more powerful than the reactions of the people around you. Your mind is more powerful than what's really happening around you. All right, so in order for you to really keep procrastination, one of the things that you have to pay attention to is to work on your mind. And working on your mind simply means that what are you feeding your mind with? All right, are you reading books that helps you know more about the things that you really need to do to kill procrastination or to avoid procrastination or to get some things really done? So how are you really feeding your mind? All right, are you really giving yourself positive affirmation? All right, because I always say people that for you to really feed your mind, then that means that you have to really control the way you think. All right, and the mindset is all about how you think, how you program your mindset. When somebody really discourages you, how do you interpret it? All right, when you see negativity around you, how do you really use your mind to really interpret it? It really matters a lot. All right, so if you want to keep procrastination, you need to work with your mind. Make your mind your best friend. I'm really crazy right now saying this, but I've got to really say it. You need to understand your mindset has to be your greatest weapon, your greatest friend of all. Because once you really make your mind your best friend, you realize that you can do that things you really want to do with so ease. All right. So you need to understand your mindset is what you really need to work in. And how do you really work on your mindset just for you to really keep procrastination? Well, you have something before you that you really want to do. Tell yourself every day, every single minute, every second, hours, I can do this. All right. Regardless of the challenges or the circumstances that is really, happening around you, tell yourself, I can do this. And wake up to realize that you are really getting those things really done. Always give yourself positive affirmation. Work around with the people. Let your mindset makes you think of the kind of people that you really want to associate yourself with. It is very important. So, in a summary, what I'm just trying to really share is that one of the ways for you to really keep procrastination, it begins in your mind. Think positive things. Say positive affirmation to yourself. Don't limit yourself. All right, that's how you can actually work with your mind. Always say yourself, no matter how big this goal really is before me, I know that I can get it done, and I'm really going to get it done, and I'm not really going to rest until I really get it done. And you have to really fire your mind with that kind of intuition. So you want to keep procrastination, renew your mind. It is very, very, very important. Now, secondly, in order for you to really keep procrastination, one of the things that you have to really consider or you have to really bear in mind is that you need to pay attention to how you spend your minutes. You need to pay attention to how you spend your goals or how you spend your seconds or your hours. Or even before I really go into that, let me just give you a second tips. You need to pay attention to your goals. And when I'm talking about goals, I'm not just talking about goals that you don't have a deadline to. That's one of the reasons why our problem is that it is true that we have goals, but we don't put a deadline to them. And that's some of the reason why what could have actually taken you a week, realize that you are taking a month to really do. Why? Because you are not putting a deadline to that goals that you have actually got before you. And it's very important that if you want to really quit procrastination, you have got to have goals. Live section. You have got to have goals, and you have got to have deadlines to that goals. It is very important. So when I'm talking about goals, let me actually dive more deeper into this. I'm talking about weekly goals. I'm talking about daily goals. I'm talking about monthly goals. I'm talking about yearly goals. So whatever your goals really is, because my goals can actually be different from your goals. All right. But at the end of the day, we are all striving towards achievements. We are all striving towards living life fully before we actually die empty. We are striving towards the fact that you actually want to leave a legacy behind for your children before you actually die. All right, before you clock 40 years old, you want to ensure that you live a wealthy life. You want to live, you want to ensure that you have everything that you ever envision for yourself to really do. All right. One of my skills is that I love to speak to people, and I've always envisioned myself that one day I'm really going to become a speaker. And speaking doesn't mean that you have to really stand in the presence of so many audience and speak to people. That is not speaking. Well, that's not what speaking is all about. But it really begins when by the kind of people you are really interacting with every day. It begins going live on social media pages, just like how I'm actually doing right now. So you need to understand that your goals really matters in order for you to really keep procrastination. Now you have goals before you. All right. One of the reasons why you are really killing that, you are really procrastinating on that goals that you really want to get done. And I'm just really trying to really make it general. I could have really given some example of the kind of goals I'm really talking about. Maybe your goals is that you want to buy a car. Or maybe your goals is like maybe you want to, buy a house, or you want to have your own house. Or maybe your goals is that you want to buy a mom, maybe a car one day, or you want to buy your mom a land one day. I mean, these are some of my goals I really have. These are long-term goals because I keep on working on them every now and then. So our goals can really be different. So in order for you to really kill that procrastination of actually, shifting these goals to another time, you need to understand that you have to put a deadline to it. So don't ever set goals without putting a deadline to it. And let me also really share this in a very quick but yet simple way so that you can actually understand the kind of message that really help you. You need to understand that for every goal you have really put for yourself, now don't ever go bed or don't ever go to sleep at night without having a clue of what you're really going to do ahead of the following day. Because if you keep on going to bed, if you keep on going to sleep, and you don't have a clear picture of what you are really going to do the following day, you realize that you only wake up the following day and you are just doing anything that just really come your way. I mean, you are just really following the people that tells you, what, you have got to come. I mean, you just join any crowd. Why? Because you don't have a clear picture of the thing that you actually want to do for yourself. So it is very important. It's very unique that you never go to bed without giving yourself the goals of what you really want to do tomorrow. All right. Don't ever spend every month without telling yourself, these are the things that I really want to do ahead of the month. And I'm sharing this practical tip because I really want it very simple and very easy so that you can actually get the kind of message that really help you really rightly. So you need to understand the fact that in order for you to really achieve your goals, start every month with a picture of the things that you actually want to do on the 27th or on the 28th of every month, or before at least maximum a week or 4 days before a new week really start. Ensure that you have your goals really listed down of the things that you actually want to do in the preceding months. You have to really get to that point if you want to really keep procrastination. I'm really being honest right now. I'm really being straight right now. If you really want to get right, because it's high time you have to really keep procrastination. How long do you really want to keep procrastinating? You want to start that business, you realize that you're really procrastinating on it. When do you really want to become a great entrepreneur? Because you keep on envisioning, you keep on thinking about it, but all of these things is a waste of time if you can't really put them into practice. So how you do anything is how you do everything. It is very important. So in order for you to keep procrastination, you need to understand that set goals and put a deadline to them. For example, there are some goals I really want to do, and I tell myself within 1 week I want to achieve these very goals. So I set myself on the 17th, which is actually today, on Monday. I know that on Sunday, latest by 11 o'clock a.m., I have to really get that things really done. One amazing thing really happens when you put a deadline to your goals. Your mind will be open to ideas. Your mind will be quick into the things that you have never really tried before. You'll be hungry for the things that you have never ever done in your life before. Why? Because you tell yourself that I've got a deadline for these very goals and I'm really going to get at them no matter what. And these are some of the practical tips or ways that you can actually keep procrastination, because procrastination is very afraid of one thing. It's afraid of goals that actually have a deadline. I really want to be very honest with this. It's a secret I'm sharing with you. Procrastination is actually afraid of what have. Procrastination is not afraid of goals, but yeah, it's afraid of goals that actually have deadlines attached to them. So you understand what I'm trying to really share with you. So in order for you to keep procrastination, don't only set goals for yourself. Put a deadline to them. Put a deadline to them. And when you put a deadline to them, for example, within 2 minutes, within 3 hours, within 4 hours, I want to get some things really done. Then I want to move on to the next thing. Don't ever rest. All right. Keep on doing that thing you actually want to do. You have actually positioned your mind to, but you're hungry for that thing. Because if you put a goals and you put a deadline to those things and you are not working, but you are folding your hands, it's not really going to happen. Because you know that I've got to actually achieve this goal. I've got to, the deadline really have for it is next week, Monday. So I want to ensure that I'm doing everything it takes to make sure that I'm doing those things really done. Now, another thing I want to share with you, which is very important in order for you to really keep your procrastination, is that are you really paying attention to how you spend your minutes? This is what I'm about to really share. It has really made me live my life fully. And it has really made me achieve these things that I really want to do in my life. And it has really made me get out of my comfort zone into my faith zone. It has really made me stop relying on people and go get the things I really want to get done for myself. If you want to keep procrastination, pay attention to how you spend your minutes. Pay attention to how you spend your hours. Pay attention to how you spend your seconds. It is very important. You have got these goals before you. So now, what are you doing every minute, every second, every hours? It is very important. I don't want to set a goal for myself, only to realize that I'm doing something else that I know that it won't help me to really achieve those goals. So I want to ensure that instead of me to be working on the things that I know that is very important for me to achieve my goals, I find myself really talking to people that I know that the conversation I'm even having with them is not even necessary. Like it doesn't hurt to anything that I really want to do in order for me to achieve those goals I really want to put for myself. You need to, know that this is the deadline you actually put for yourself, and you get distracted and you are doing something else. Why? Because you never pay attention to your minutes, your seconds, your hours. So you need to understand fully well that in order for you to really quit procrastination, be so obsessed with the things that you do every minute, every second, every hours. When you tell yourself in the next 2-3 hours, I really need to really get this thing done. When something really comes in between to really distract you, kill that thing. Because that very minute, that very second, that very hours are the things that you're supposed to be doing in order for you to achieve your goals. So why do you want to allow other things to distract you from those goals that you have actually set for yourself? So in order for you to really keep procrastination, pay attention to your minutes, your seconds, your hours. It is very important. I know I really have about 15 minutes left. Now, another tips or practical tips I really want to share with you is that one of the reasons why a lot of people really procrastinate is simply because, and I really want to be honest with this, they are doing the things that they don't love. They are doing the things that are not really gifted at. They are doing the things they are not really passionate about. All right. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people really go to work. I'm talking about the employees. They are doing the things that they don't really love because they're not really passionate about. So in order for you to really keep some procrastination, you need to understand that do the things that you love. All right. When you realize that the goals you really want to do doesn't fall in line with your gifts, then you have to really call yourself back again and tell yourself, I think I'm really setting some goals that I know that I'm not really passionate about them. And even before I really go into that, let me really share this. I think it's very important for me to really share this. Okay. And like I said, do the things that you love. It is very important. Now, let me also really share this with you. When you know that you have actually set your goals, now it's very important for me to really share this with you. Don't try to get so many things done in a day. All right, because when you try to really get a lot of things done in a day, it gets really stressed out. And that's some of the reason why a lot of people just really get tired with their goals and they just want to procrastinate it and they just want to find something else to really do. All right, don't try to really get so many things done in a day. And this has nothing to do with Mark Jackson. All right, Mark Jackson is all about doing something little every day that you have actually set for yourself. Then at the end of the day, you realize that we are really achieving those things down the road. Because trying to really get a lot of things done in a day or in a week or like 2 days, 3 days, it really weighs you down. So why don't you really begin by doing little things you can actually do in every now and then? Just do little things every day and give yourself a month from now. Realize that the little things you have been doing every now and then sums up to the bigger goals that you have actually placed for yourself. And by so doing, you have been able to actually keep procrastination. So in order to avoid procrastination, what I'm trying to really share with you is another tips is that you need to do little things every now and then. And don't stop. Keep on doing those little things. All right, you want to start a business for yourself. All right, you have got to really understand that in order for you to start that business, do the little things you can actually do today. In the next 1 hour, let me really get in touch with a coach that will actually share some practical tips with me. So within 1 hour, I was able to actually gather some certain things together. Okay, so I nailed it. So the next thing I want to do, okay, I need a loan. All right, I want to get, I want to get a capital for me to really start my business. So, instead of actually for me to go for a loan, why don't I really pay attention to my gift? All right, I'll market my gift to other people. All right, so I want to do this within 1 week or within 5 days. All right, and market my gift to other people that this is what I'm really very good at. So why don't you really buy into my gift? And when I render the service to you, then you actually exchange it with money. So eventually you're really getting the money for you to really start up that business. But I'm not really sharing about how to really start a business. I'm just really sharing how you can actually get those little things done every day. I wish I could have actually gone deeper into how you can really start a business, but today is not what this section is all about. All right, but I'm just trying to give you a picture of the things that you can be doing in order for you to really keep procrastination. All right, do little things every day. Do little things every day. When you try to really get a lot of things really done in a short period of time, if care is not really taken, it breaks you down. So one of the things I really love to do is that even though a lot of people say that I get so many things done in a day, but I always tell people that I don't try to get a lot of things done in a day. All I've got to do is just do little things every day. That's all I've got to do. And I realize that down the road, I'm achieving some certain things that I really want to do for myself. Because, for example, my life is all based around my company, my network, and also my hub, and some other few things I'm actually doing just for me to be able to actually, create a multiple streams of income for myself. So I always tell myself that for every hours, I've got to really use it to focus on my hub. I've got to really use it to focus on my network. I've got to use it to focus on my company. So I know the time that I've given a time for everything that I really want to do for myself. And if you really want to keep procrastination, you need to understand that put a time to everything that you really want to do. And that's why I'm saying that you have got to put a deadline to them. Put a time you actually want to start it and put a time that you actually want to end it. It is very important for you to bear that in mind. So you want to keep procrastination, don't try to get a lot of things done in a day. Just do little things you have got to do every day. When you know that your capacity is just 1 hour to get some things really done, do it and do it perfectly well. If your capacity really keep on working till 4 hours, do it and do it well. Maybe your capacity is just 30 minutes. Do it and do it well. One of the things that you have to really pay attention to, which is actually another tip I'm really going to share with you, is that in order for you to really keep procrastination, be committed. And not only be committed and also be consistent with your goals. One of the reasons why a lot of people end up really procrastinating what they really want to do is simply because they are not really consistent. All right, everybody's really good at starting something. I want to be honest with this. All right, because I like sharing things that I know that it will help you really open your minds of the things why you are not really achieving what you really want to do. Why you feel like maybe somebody's really after you. But the question is, nobody's really after you. Nobody is really chasing you. It's simply because you get that thing really done, but you are not really consistent at it. So if you want to keep procrastination is really afraid of one thing, and it's afraid of deadline attached to your goals. And procrastination is also really afraid of consistency being attached to commitment. Procrastination it's not really afraid of goals, it's not really afraid of commitments, but it's only afraid of the things that you know that you keep on doing it every now and then. Because procrastination will never get in your way when you are really consistent with the goals or you are committed to the things that you really want to do for yourself. So you need to understand that in order to avoid procrastination, be committed, be consistent, be hungry. All right. Sometimes it's okay to really get tired. Rest if you can, but don't ever give up on the things that you really want to do. Because at the end of the day, where else are we going to do it? If you don't do it now, where else are we going to do it? All right. Somebody else will, you just realize that somebody else is working on the goals that you have actually set for yourself. Now, maybe because of the fact that you are the only one actually envisioning those things, and because of the fact that you're not really acting on it, eventually the dream is being given to somebody else who is really radical enough to really get those things really done. And this one reason why a lot of people end up really, jealous of people because of the fact that they see them really doing other things. They see them doing things that they have actually envisioned themselves to really do. Why? Because you never acted on those things right on time when you're actually having this vision. And because of the fact that you actually see somebody else really doing it, you get jealous. Or you get like, you must have actually stolen my dream. But it's not really that way. So be committed, be consistent with your goals in order for you to really achieve it. I know I really have less than 10 minutes for me to actually round up this whole thing. Because I started exactly, if I can remember, I started exactly 10:15 a.m. So be committed and be consistent with your goals. It is very important. Now, another part I also want to share with you is that pay attention to your circles. What kind of people are you really working with? Spend hours with big minds. All right. See yourself always talking or always on the table of big minds. And one of the reasons why I'm actually sharing these tips with you is simply because when you're working with big minds, now you realize that one of the amazing characteristics or one of the amazing qualities of big minds is that when they actually envision themselves, they actually want to do some certain things really done. They are radical. All right. They are aggressive and they go get it done. They never allow anything really step on the way onto getting those things really done. So you can actually imagine when you surround yourself with those kind of people, you can actually imagine the kind of mindset or the kind of DNA, or you can actually imagine the obsessiveness of what they're really going to transmit to you because of the fact that you're always spending time with them every now and then. So it is very important that if you want to really keep procrastination, what will be minds? All right. I mean, let them know this is actually your goals. They will tell you all the things that you need to really do in order for you to achieve your goals. Keep on working with them. Keep on talking to them. One of the mistakes we often really do is that we spend time with small minds, only to realize that we think that maybe we are actually achieving something really beneficial, but every day is only trying to really draw us back. So in order for you to avoid yourself being drawn back by things you really want to do, spend your time with big minds, because when you start thinking the way they're actually thinking, when you start, envisioning yourself the way that they are really envisioning themselves, you realize that getting nothing really done will always be possible because you never let anything really distract you. Then another thing I also want to share with you is that, like I said, every now and then when you wake up, all right, before you actually spend a new month, make sure you actually have goals set before you. It's very important to really bear that in mind. Another tips I also want to share with you is that you want to keep procrastination, have a mentor in your life, have a coach in my life. One of the things that really helped me today to achieve the things I really want to do for myself is simply because every now and then I have coach in my life. Even up to now, I still have people I also look up to. Even though I know that other people are also looking up to me, but I also still have people that I'm actually looking up to. But one thing I never do is that I never get so obsessed looking up to them that I forget myself that I could really get some things really done, even though they're not really there. That's one thing I never ever, mistaken myself to. So what I'm just trying to really say is that you have got to really understand that in order for you to really keep procrastination, have mentor in your life, have a coach in your life, And it's not just about having coach or mentor in life. Approach them and let them understand that these are the goals that you want to do. But realize that it's very hard for you to really do it. Realize that you keep on procrastinating some certain things that you actually want to do because of the fact that it's way beyond you. And the amazing thing that really happens when you're expressing yourself to them is that they will really come in and hold your hand and show you the way. All right. I quite remember when I was having a conversation with one of my mentees, and he was telling me that I really set myself that these are the goals I want to achieve, especially for my business that I really want to start up. But I realized that every now and then I try to really get them done. All right. I kept on procrastinating on many things I really want to do. And I say, you know what? Even though I can't help you achieve everything 100%, but I can at least help you achieve the 50%. And the rest, you have to really work on the rest. All right. So what I can do is that I can follow the action of the things that I really want to do, but it's also up to you for you to be willing to do them. So because when you have a coach in your life, it helps you really follow the things that you actually want to do. It helps you really get energized to the things that you actually want to do for yourself. So it is very important you have coach in your life because they always hold your hand up so that they carry you along, they show you the way, they guide you. All right, the things that could have actually taken you 1 year to really do because of their experiences, because of the fact that they have already been ahead of where you really want. They have already been where you are even going. You can actually imagine you have a coach in your life who is already a successful entrepreneur, and you are now coming to actually start a business for yourself. So you can see that where you are really going, they have already been there. So they knows their way, they knows what it takes for them to really, what they knows the process they actually pass through. All right, they have time they really pass through before they were able to actually achieve the result they actually, envision themselves really doing at the moment. So you want to keep procrastination, have mentors in your life. All right, because once you really have mentors in your life, they will always guide you through. They will always tell you the things that you have to really do. All right. And one of the amazing things is that you'll always be accountable to your mentors or your coach, because your coach will always keeping track of your progress. They always ask every now and then, what are you really achieving? So you need to really understand this if you really want to kill procrastination. So have mentors in your life. Now, I will share about 2 or 3 more tips. Then I'll round up the whole thing. Is that be accountable to yourself, not to anybody else. You have got to really be accountable to yourself. A lot of people are doing the things they have certain goals for themselves, but they are not really putting in place accountability. How many hours have you ever really sit down and try to really review of the things that you have not really done, of the things you are really doing? Because me, for example, I just really love it. Before I really go to bed, I want to look at the things that I couldn't really pay attention, because sometimes it gets not really taken. You can be so taken away that you never pay attention to some certain things that you actually want to do because of the day. Maybe you intend that, I've got to reach out to the very person in the process of actually achieving my results, but I couldn't really get it because other things really distract me from really getting it done. So you need to understand that there are some times in your life where you have to really lock yourself in the room and try to really review the things that you couldn't do in your dark hours. You want to review the things that you couldn't actually act on. It is very important. Never spend your day or never end your day without accounting or without reviewing or without assessing or without analyzing the things that you have actually set for yourself to really do. It is very important. So always, from every now and then, you can do it maybe towards maybe when you're back home, or maybe in the night you can really do it. Just try to envision yourself. It's just something that I really planned that way I should have done, but I never really get it done. This is a time of accountability. So you are accounting to yourself. I couldn't really get it done because something really got in my way. So this is actually an opportunity for me to really work on it as I'm really moving on. So you realize that because of the fact that you are reviewing yourself, all right, you are meditating. Meditation is very important. Meditation really goes along with accountability. All right, and I love meditation a lot. And one of the things I always share with people is that meditation is actually the most important part of prayer. All right. God listens more, or God really, I mean, it's okay when you express yourself before God, but there are also some times where you have to really pay attention to what God has really got to tell you. And the only way you can actually hear God's really speaking to you is not when you're really talking, or it's not when you are really praying, but it's when you are really listening. And that time is a time of meditation. So meditation helps you review. It makes you calm your mind and envision the things that you have not really been paying attention to. So it is very important. I know I really have less than 5 minutes. So meditation with accountability will help you review the things you are possibly procrastinating, and it helps you niche or nail on the things, or it helps you really identify the things that you know that you have not really been doing, even though you are ignorant about it because of the fact that you are not paying attention to it. It makes you, because of the fact that you are really meditating, you are accounting, you are reviewing the things that you really want to do, or the things that you couldn't really do. Eventually, you get those things that you actually want to do down the road. So it is very important. You have to really pay attention to. It is very important. You have to really pay attention to that. I know I really have less than 5 minutes because I want to be time conscious. Now, the last one I really want to share with you to round up the whole thing is that when you have done your best, you also have to learn that you still need to rely on God. Your best, no matter how good it is incomplete without having the picture of God in your mind. What I'm just trying to really say is that for you to really quit procrastination, there's some certain things that's actually way beyond you. And if there's one place that you need to really run to overcome that thing that has been chaining you, or that has been entangling you from getting some things really done, the only thing that can help you really break away from that thing is God. So when you know that your God goes before yourself, you need to understand that there are some goals that is faster to achieve when you have God in your life. And what I'm talking about having God in your life, I'm talking about putting Him at the center of your life, or the things that you have actually been doing in life. I would have loved to really dive more deeper into what I really mean by saying that putting God at the center of your life. But in a nutshell, what I'm trying to really say is that when you realize that there are some certain things that's actually way beyond you, you can't really control it. You realize that you can't really get those things really done. They are way beyond you. You keep on procrastinating it. You want to get that thing really done. Hey, relax a bit. Calm yourself down. Surrender everything and give it all unto God. Because God will help you do the things that you can't do. God will help you do the things that is actually way beyond you. God will help you achieve the things that you can't do, you can't possibly achieve for yourself. Because you have been having that goals you really want to achieve, but you realize that every now and then, 1 month from now, 2 months from now, you still realize that you couldn't really do it. Go to God. And you don't need to actually go to any prophet to really tell you exactly what to do. Why don't you really go on your knees? Go into meditation, read the Bible, read the scripture, pray. In one way or the other, God will always bring the solution to you. And it comes in a whispering voice. So how many times are you really hearing God really speak to you? God really speaks to you in a time of meditation. All right. And maybe it can come in various ways. Maybe it can actually come in form of dreams. Maybe you dreamed about something, and God really places it in your dream, so that you can actually envision, so that you can actually see the things that He wants you to really do. Yeah, you have not really been paying attention to. That has made you to be procrastinated. God will put it in your dream. And sometimes God can actually put it in your chat. And sometimes God can even put it in the mouth of somebody that you need to actually get yourself really connected to. So there are various ways you can really hear from God. So when you realize that there's some same thing that is actually way beyond you, go on your knees. Read your scripture, pray, meditate, fast. Eventually, you help develop the confidence that you need to overcome that challenge that is really way beyond you. So this is what I'm really going to share with you. I know my time is really up because I'm trying to really be time conscious. So this is what I'm just really going to share with you. I could venture some other things that you can help to keep procrastination. I'm trying to really focus as much as possible on the major things. These are the major things you have to really work on for you to really keep procrastination. So, my dear friend, my dear brother, my dear sister, really watching me live. You want to keep procrastination, do the things that you love. That thing you have actually nailed on your list. Make sure it's something really fall within the things that you are passionate about really doing, that you really love to really do. Don't ever struggle to do the things that you are not really passionate about. Don't ever make the mistake. For example, you want to start a business, ensure that it's actually a type of business that you know that you're really gifted at. If you're always venturing into a kind of business that is not really meant for you, like it doesn't fall in line with your gift. I don't think you keep on struggling over it, and if it's not really taken, you realize that yes, has really gone by, and yet you are still not achieving that thing. So make sure that whatever goals you actually set on that list falls in line with your gifts. It falls in line that the things that you actually do so natural that you don't necessarily have to go to somebody to show you the way, because you know that this is what I love to do. So, and one amazing thing really happens when you love the things that you have actually envisioned to yourself to really do. You realize that ideas will start coming in. Sometimes ideas really comes from the things that you are so gifted at. Gift alone in gift alone is embedded a lot of things. Passion is embedded in gift. All right. The answers to life is embedded in your gift. There are some ideas that really comes to you whenever you are really following your gift. All right, and that gift is really comes from God. God always hides the things that will help you achieve some certain things in life, simply because you are really following your gift. You have really followed the things that you have already placed inside of you. Your gifts are actually inside of you. There are things that you actually love to do that you don't necessarily have to really struggle. So that's why sometimes when I want to get some certain things really done, I don't really have to get a goggle. I don't really have to, copy what other people are really doing before I have a clear idea of exactly what I want to do. All I'm going to do, I'm not really in competition with anybody. No, sometimes we get so carried away on the things that we want to do simply because we're really competing with other people. And when I'm talking about other people, you realize that thing is actually getting some, that guy over there is getting some things really done, and he's even doing it more better than you. If it's not really taken, so you tell yourself, oh, myself, I'm also going to do more than what that person is really doing. Hey, your job or your responsibility is not that. Your job is to sit down. Don't get distracted. Don't get taken away by what other people are really doing. Sit down and ask God, what is that one thing that I really want to do that I should be doing? And I tell you, ideas will start coming, will start flowing into your mind. I would have loved to actually venture in what I really meant today, but because of time, I just need to really tell you that you want to keep procrastination, do the things that you love. You want to keep procrastination, set goals for yourself, but make sure you actually have a deadline to them. You want to keep procrastination, don't ever try to get so many things done in a day. Just get little things done. Every 2 hours, get some little things really done that will help you achieve the things that you really want to do, that will propel you, that will add up to the things that you have been doing, that will eventually take you to where you're really going. So always bear that in mind, and always put God at the center of everything you're really doing. I know my time is really up because I just have only 2 minutes left to round up the whole thing. So always remember what I will share with you and really put them into practice. When you put them into practice, there is nothing that can really stop you from doing the things you have actually envisioned for yourself. So I'm just really going to end here for now. So this is actually the empowered message I really have for you. So if you are really empowered by this very message, you can drop a comment in the chat box below. All right, it can be in the form of a question, it can be in the form of an affirmation, it can be in the form of maybe a comment or contribution. Just drop it below, and I'll do it to actually pay attention to it and really answer them. All right, so thank you so much for actually spending your time with me. My name is Samuel Adewale, Coach Sam. It's really amazing having a time with you. So God's willing, next week Monday, I'll be coming with another message. It might not necessarily be on a procrastination. It can be on other things. Like I said, I speak on leadership. I speak on self-growth. I speak on personal development. I speak on digital marketing. I speak on network marketing. I speak on content development. I speak on branding. I speak on relationship. All right. And these are the things I speak so well that I don't necessarily have to go to Google. I don't have to. If I want to present myself to people, if I want to talk to people, I don't need to write something really down for me to know exactly these are the things I'm really going to say. It comes natural. I've been through them. So my name is once again is actually Coach Sam. Thank you so much for actually listening to me. It's really been an amazing time with you. If you have any challenges, like I said, there's a coaching section for you to empower you, to guide you. And my coaching is not just for you to really come and express yourself, but at the end of the day, achieving the results of the things that you want to do. That's where my major goal really is. I never coach any people without ensuring that at the end of the day, they always achieve the result they actually envision for themselves for them to really do. And it comes in various ways, various strategies. All right. So once again, thank you all so much. I know my time is really hard. And like I said, I have to really be time conscious. And once again, thank you all so much for actually watching me live. All right. If you want to get connected to me, I'm always available. All right. Even though my schedules are really sad, but I always tell people that never live a busy life only to realize that you are not really productive. Make sure that while you are really busy, be productive. And the only way you can actually be productive is when you are really associating with big minds. It's when you are really associating with people who are really crazy about making the world a better place. If you are that kind of person, you can always get in touch with me. Let's collaborate. I'm not here to actually compete with anybody. I'm only here to join hands with people and make the world a better place. There are some certain things I can do greater when I really join hands with people. All right. So feel free and get in touch with me, express yourself to me, and we can see how we can actually overcome the challenge you're really facing. So once again, thank you all so much. My time's really up. So I'll see you again next week Monday, not maybe possibly by Facebook Live, but it could actually be on Instagram or Twitter Space. But just get connected to all of our social media pages. Just search for Big Sam Empowers or SINETWORK. All right, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, and also on Facebook, SINETWORK, Sam Inspired Network. All right, just search for it. I'm sure you're really going to see, you're really going to see us. And do what's really follow this very page. Follow the page also on Twitter, on Instagram, and also on YouTube. All right. We are currently doing our Wednesday, and it's going to take place for 7 days throughout this week. So if you want to join us, if you want to become a fellow of the network, you are always welcome to really join us. So thank you all so much for actually paying attention to me. If you have any question, get in touch with me, and I'll do it really inside. Bye for now.